Good day and positive vibration. This is Major. Thank you for tuning to Major TV. Let's talk. I have a co-host coming in. Cody, what's up? Shalom. How you doing, sis? When Cody come in, we're gonna start the program. What happened? I want to thank everybody tuning in. I have a Cody sharing this with me. This is a very, very, very deep story that's been covered, but not really pushed out in the media, especially in the general media, right? So we as a community got to make sure that we keep a story like this relevant, let the people know what's going on in Taylorville, Mississippi, and really just bring light to what's going on. How you doing, Cody? Shalom. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. We interacting right now with New Black Panther Party. They're arriving in I think 15 about 10 minutes. As soon as they share soon as they come in the feed, we'll share the coverage with you. But the meantime, between time, we want to share basically the story about Rasheem Carter, a young man who was working in Taylorville, Mississippi, at a Georgia Pacific plant contracting, and had an encounter with the owner of the company that eventually turned to some white men following him. And if you don't know, they decapitated brother, they lynched the brother. They found his remains in the woods right outside Taylorville, Mississippi. Cody, I want you, let's play it from the beginning, and then we'll chop it up and go to the lady part, what have you. I want to play it in between that time of us waiting for New Black Panther Party to come in and start letting us see what's going on out there. And let me know when you're ready. All right. And while she's doing that, and we just trying to buy time because this whole program, and shout out to News, Facts, and Comments. That's a Cody Black media platform. That's Tino Major TV. We both covering. We've been talking to Crystal Muhammad, and we've been trying to find out what's really going on. If y'all been watching my platform, I posted the rally and protest are going to be going on today. We believe, me and Cody spoke, that there's not enough support with Crystal and them, New Black Panther Party, and going down there. And we definitely want to bring light to the fact that it's important that we still stay in the game. I mean, just because something happened in the movement and they locked some of our brothers and sisters up, you know what I'm saying? Some got killed, some was discouraged and walked away. We still got to push the fight, you know what I'm saying? We still have to do our part. Like I said, I don't have no sides, I'm with anybody. Like I said initially with Major TV, I'm with anybody who's about helping the community. So I hate it when people labelize me as this or that or other. I would say, brother, just like you, that was concerned and wanted to say something. Got tired of just sitting around, got tired of just talking about it and not doing anything, right? And it's not always, physically doing anything. There's little things you can do, like sharing information or like making our young people become more informed to what's going on and asking them to get involved, take the lead in some cases and what have you. So I definitely feel like it's a much needed situation. I do have the article that was written on by News, Facts, and Comments that was shared in the post, as well. And I think in the description, I think we may have to add that with the article as well as the GoFundMe, because there's a GoFundMe out there too for the family in reference to trying to secure the funds to be able to get an investor, be able to facilitate whatever they need in reference to making sure that Rasheem Carter get justice. They do have attorney Ben Crump. He the first who put attention to it being a lynching once he took over the case and what have you. And shout out to Vice News, and that's who we're gonna be playing their recording and coverage of the rally for justice for Rasheem. And as soon as Cody let me know when we can play it. I just want to buy time to let New Black Panther Party get set up out there and whatnot. Applaud the chairwoman, Krista Muhammad, as well as New Black Panther Party, the family, and Attorney Ben Crump, and a lot of other people that have been bringing a lot of attention to this situation, because there's a lot of people I probably have a name that's really, really like out there in Mississippi putting it down and really trying to get justice for Rasheem. All right, Cody. Cody? She went back off. I thought she heard a back. Are you ready? Are you ready? The background. When we pull it up, I can pull it at the screen right now. What you about to do? You about to read the article, or you about to play the video? You about to see the article or the video? That's all right. I can hear you. You gotta blow it. You can blow it up for me. Blow it up. All right. Y'all check this out, and y'all can get caught up on the story about Rasheem Carter and what happened to him on the day in question.
Anybody that know him gonna tell you, all he did was smile. So he was happy. He was a happy person. He loved helping the elderly, loved feeding people, taking care of other people's children if he could, you know. And a father of a 7-year-old daughter. So he was well loved.
Here we go.
Let's fix our step.
Let's fix our step.
A group of people have come here to Taylorsville to demand answers for what's happened to Rasheem Carter. He went missing over 6 months ago, and it was a month later that parts of his body were found in a field nearby to here. Now, the family and a lot of black people here in the community think that this was a murder, and that murder was racially motivated. There's also a lot of suspicion about the role of law enforcement here. So people are here to demand an outside investigation of this case and to demand answers for what happened to Rasheem Carter.
I want to thank everybody here today for standing with us in unity and solidarity. This has really been a struggle for our family, but we're going to do the best we can to fight to get the justice that we deserve to have. That's right.
Rasheem Carter's case is complicated, and there's a lot we don't know. What we do know is that last September, Carter traveled to Taylorsville for a short-term contract job at a chemical plant. He was staying at a hotel about 30 minutes outside of town. On October 1st, Carter texted his mother, saying there was a truck full of white men following him and shouting racial slurs, and that he was scared. His mother told him to make an official report with the police department, which he did. He also asked the police for a ride back to his hotel because he felt unsafe. But the police refused, saying that it was outside of the jurisdiction. This is where the timeline gets fuzzy. It's unclear where Carter spent the night, but early the next morning, he returned to the police again to ask to borrow a phone charger. Police said they didn't have a charger that would work with his phone, but suggested he buy one at the Family Dollar. With his phone battery at 1%, he texted his mother his location, and she sent a friend to pick him up. But by the time they arrived, Carter was gone. The next day, October 2nd, the family went to Taylorsville PD and filed a missing persons report. Days went by without news, so they called the Sheriff's Department of Smith County, of which Taylorsville is a part, and asked if they had seen Rasheem Carter. The Sheriff's Department said no one had told them he was missing, and that this was the first they'd heard of it, 3 days after the initial report, and it seemed no one was looking for him. Another 3 days went by, and the police didn't have anything. So the family drove into town to look on their own. They went to one of the stores in the area that Carter had last texted from and asked if they had any surveillance footage. The employees handed the footage over. Then the family asked if they'd also given this same footage to the police. They were told that police had never even asked for it. Almost a month later, a property owner in Taylorsville alerted law enforcement that he'd found an image of someone on his deer cam that he didn't recognize. Taylorsville police took dogs to search the area, and then stated they'd found remains they believed were Carter's in a wooded area just outside of Taylorsville. Only a skull and some fragments of a vertebrae remained. Official documents from the case seemed to suggest that trauma to the bones indicated some sort of injury, but the cause of death was listed as undetermined. The report also indicated that animals may since have eaten some of the remains. Once the remains were located, Smith County Sheriff Department almost immediately said in a Facebook post that they didn't suspect foul play. They would later backtrack on this, saying that they hadn't ruled it out. The family did suspect that this was a murder and felt that law enforcement were not making an effort to find the person responsible. So, in February, the family organized a protest in Taylorsville to demand a more thorough investigation. The participants, who were mostly black, marched to Taylorsville Police Department, where they were taunted by a group of white men. One of the protesters wrote a message in chalk on the pavement saying that Rasheem Carter's life mattered. That same evening, Taylorsville Police Chief Gabe Horn posted a picture on Facebook of an officer power washing the message off the pavement with the caption, "Just a little cleanup," and a hand-waving emoji. All of this has added to community suspicions that officials don't actually care about Rasheem Carter, and this suspicion has spread. On May 11th, Benjamin Crump gave a press conference and used the word that was on everyone's minds.
That this was not of natural causes. This was a Mississippi lynching in 2022 of a young black man.
Which brings us up to today, 6 months later, a community on edge and no answers as to what really happened to Rasheem Carter. But Carter's case isn't the first time the topic of modern lynchings has come up in this part of Mississippi. Jill Colleen Jefferson is a civil rights attorney who does pro bono investigations into suspected lynchings.
What kind of town is this here?
This is old school Mississippi right here. I grew up in Taylorsville. It has a deep history. It's a place where people are incredibly friendly, but also a place where, like in a lot of places in Mississippi, there is still deep-seated racism.
Tell me about the first case you really started working on.
The Willie Andrew Jones Jr. case, we solved this case. Willie, a 21-year-old black man, he was found hanging from a tree in his white girlfriend's front yard. The cops got there, and within 40 minutes of their being on the scene, they had told Willie's mother that it was suicide, that it was nothing else. They hadn't even talked to witnesses. They hadn't done any type of investigation. I started running our own investigation, going over phone records, getting surveillance footage, going to the crime scene, and there was just so many things that they missed.
Where is Willie Jones Jr.'s case now?
We won a civil case in 2021, and we won $11 million. Right now, the district attorney refuses to prosecute for murder. Part of the truth that people need to realize is that in so many of these tiny places in Mississippi, Jim Crow is actually still alive. The environment is still very much the same, that if you're black and you're there, that you're likely unsafe. People think we're further along than we actually are. The thing is, lynchings never stopped. Because they're not in the mainstream anymore, people assume that they're not happening, but they've never, ever, ever stopped.
In the Willie Jones Jr. case, authorities continue to maintain that the evidence points to a suicide and not a lynching. Mississippi has more lynchings historically than any other state in the U.S. Marion Allen is a historian who's been watching Rasheem Carter's case.
Is it here?
She works to establish memorials around Mississippi to commemorate different lynchings that have happened in the state.
I mean, not too far away from here is where Rasheem Carter went missing.
Yes, yes. This is an actual site that we know where people were hung. And this is known as the notorious hanging bridge of Shabuta, Mississippi.
How many people were hung from here?
First, it was 2 teenage boys who were hung for allegedly raping a young white girl, 2 men and 2 females who were also hung. The 2 ladies that were killed, they were pregnant.
Do you think lynchings are still happening today?
The lynchings of today are more high class. We use bullets and guns. So I can't hang you from a tree. Sometimes people are lynched. People with mysterious death that they just end up on the bank of a river. No one knows how did he or she get there. How did it happen? See, people don't like to talk about racist. We talk about race, but we don't talk about a person being a racist. Because that's like an ugly word. Oh, I'm not a racist. I have black friends. You know.
Racism exists, but there's no racists.
That's right. There's no racists. That's right. When people show you who they are, as Maya Angelou say, believe them. They showed you who they are in that town. We're standing here. We're talking about 1900s. We're in 2023. Things are still happening. When will it all change?
There's a fear in Taylorsville that speaking too loudly about these things could get you targeted, especially after the first protest, when the Carter family's march set off white people yelling racial slurs at them, and angry posts online threatening to kill black people.
One more time!
But since then, the family's gotten more support, especially from people outside the area. The most recent protest was dominated by a controversial religious group that isn't even from Taylorsville. Almost all of these men are from out of town, some as far as New York or further. Just like the first protest, there were some white residents who seemed angry about the march and weren't shy about making that known.
Hello?
A crackhead come down here and for some reason
Cody. Yeah, what's going on with you on the end? Bad internet? Yeah, so it's, well, I'm about to play it anyway, so I'm about to go and play it myself because I don't know what's going on. I want to play it for mine, so I gotta actually find out what we.
Who does pro bono investigations.
Old school Mississippi right here. I grew up in Taylorsville. It has a deep history. It's a place where people are incredibly friendly, but also a place where, like in a lot of places in Mississippi, there's still deep-seated racism.
Tell me about the first case you really started working on.
The Willie Andrew Jones Jr. case, he was found hanging from a tree in his white girlfriend's front yard. The cops got there, and within 40 minutes of their being on the scene, they had told Willie's mother that it was suicide, done any type of investigation. I started running our own investigation, going over phone records, getting surveillance footage, going to the crime scene. And, you know, there was so many things that they missed.
Where is Willie Jones Jr.'s case now?
Won a civil case in 2021, and we won $11 million. Right now, the district attorney refuses to prosecute for murder. Part of the truth that people need to realize is that in so many of these tiny places in Mississippi, Jim Crow is actually still alive. The environment is still very much the same, that if you're Black and you're there, that you're likely unsafe. People think we're further along than we actually are. The thing is, lynchings never stopped. Because they're not in the mainstream anymore, people assume that they're not happening, but they've never, ever, ever stopped.
In the Willie Jones Jr. case, authorities continue to maintain that the evidence points to a suicide and not lynching. Mississippi has more lynchings historically than any other state in the U.S. Marion Allen is a historian who's been watching Rasheem Carter's case.
This is it here?
She works to establish memorials around Mississippi to commemorate different lynchings that have happened in the state.
I mean, not too far away from here is where Rasheem Carter went missing.
Yes, yes. This is an actual site that we know where people were hung. And this is known as the notorious hanging bridge of Shabuda, Mississippi.
How many people were hung from here?
First, it was 2 teenage boys who were hung for allegedly raping a young white girl, 2 men and 2 females who were also hung. The 2 ladies that were killed, they were pregnant.
Do you think lynchings are still happening today?
The lynchings of today are more high class. We use bullets and guns. So I can't hang you from a tree. Sometimes people are lynched. People with mysterious death that they just end up on the bank of a river. No one knows how did he or she get there. How did it happen? See, people don't like to talk about racist. We talk about race, but we don't talk about a person being a racist. Because that's like an ugly word. Oh, I'm not a racist. I have black friends. You know.
Racism exists, but there's no racists.
That's right. There's no racists. That's right. When people show you who they are, as Maya Angelou say, believe them. They showed you who they are in that town. We're standing here. We're talking about 1900s. We're in 2023. Things are still happening. When will it all change?
There's a fear in Taylorsville that speaking too loudly about these things could get you targeted, especially after the first protest, when the Carter family's march set off white people yelling racial slurs at them, and angry posts online threatening to kill black people.
One time!
But since then, the family's gotten more support, especially from people outside the area. The most recent protest was dominated by a controversial religious group that isn't even from Taylorsville. Almost all of these men are from out of town, some as far as New York or further. Just like the first protest, there were some white residents who seemed angry about the march and weren't shy about making that known.
There's a crackhead come down here, and for some reason something happened to him, and hell, nobody in town even knew who he was. And they want to blame injustice. They don't know what injustice is. They've been crying it for 4 generations. Y'all was working somewhere.
But unlike last time, nobody really messed with the protesters. Jill Jefferson says she understands why people in Taylorsville already don't trust the police. And she says the way police initially handled this case has probably felt like a confirmation of their worst fears.
There was a rush to judgment about what happened, that judgment being that nothing happened. They're still finding body parts. So obviously this crime scene, it hasn't even been cased properly. On both sides, there have been conclusions that have been made that are not supported yet. We don't yet know if this was a lynching. And that's just the truth. We have all these events that are separate, but nobody's put them together. Nobody's connected the dots. We can call this a really suspicious case that really needs to be looked into more, but there is not enough evidence to call this a lynching.
Beyond all of that, there's the human element of this. It sounds like you understand why people would go to that conclusion.
I completely understand how people came to that conclusion. In Mississippi, there have been at least 8 modern day lynchings since 2000, and there are probably dozens and dozens more. We just don't know these people's names. It was actually a white reporter who told me that they would just go check in sheriff's departments or police stations and say, hey, what you got today or what happened? And the cops in this day and time would say, nothing but a nigger killing. And so that tells you how these cases are kind of treated like on a mass scale. Lives and white lives are treated differently in terms of the response by law enforcement in Mississippi. So I understand the assumptions for sure.
Vice News has reached out to the Taylorsville Police Department for an interview. They declined. We were able to speak to Smith County Sheriff Joel Houston, who's taken over the case since Carter's remains were found. He says they're doing all they can to find answers for the Carter family.
When you first heard about this case, what was going through your mind?
We had a job to do, and that was locate him, you know. So that's what we sought out to do.
Clearly, there are people who feel like, hey, this isn't being handled right.
Well, it is being handled right. That's part of the world we live in today.
What do you mean by that?
It's easy to blame the police.
Do you think that's changed recently?
I think it's changed in the past 6 or 7 years, for sure.
Mm-hmm. There's some pretty serious accusations.
Mm-hmm.
Going all the way up to saying, hey, there's some kind of cover-up happening. Do you have any sense of why people would feel that way?
No, I really don't.
The sense that I've seen in the community is that people's lives are being disregarded, specifically because they are Black. And that if the victim was white, if the person who was missing was white, it would be different.
Was that a question or
statement? Or
I don't care what color the person is. We have a job to do, and we're going to do it. This is not a racist place, a racist county. And white, Black, pink, or purple, we've got a job to do. They're trying to portray that, you know, this is a bad county. This is where hate crimes take place, and that is not the case.
Have you seen the image of the Taylorsville Chief of Police power washing away the writings?
I have.
What did you think of that?
I really don't want to get into all that.
Why is that?
You got the camera for a minute?
I can tell you why I'm asking. I can tell you why I'm asking. The community sees that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not you, but it is a man with a badge.
Right. Yeah, that picture, that was not for social media. This started before that picture ever took place.
You're from here, this is your community, this is the community you serve. How does it make you feel when somebody says, this is lynching, there's a cover-up?
It puts out a false narrative, which brings up a lot of troubled history that's not anywhere accurate to what we're dealing with this case.
He buried beside his dad.
Oh, really? You gotta tell me about this goat thing. What's going on here?
The greatest of all time. He was just that.
That's him.
Really?
He was well known here in this community. People loved him. He didn't mind helping the elderly. He didn't mind helping people better themselves.
He told the mayor that he was gonna run against him.
He went to the mayor and said, I'm gonna run against you.
Yeah, he said, and I'm just waiting because I'm gonna run for mayor. I'm gonna be the mayor.
You proud of him?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I can see it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm going to always love my son, and I'm going to push his legacy to the day I leave this world. And we're going to fight for justice, too. We're going to fight until we get some answers.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it takes, we're going to do what we got to do until we get the answers we deserve.
Thank you for y'all tuning in. Welcome Cody Speaks back in. We want to give y'all a backstory about the Rasheem Carter's case, who attorney Ben Crump crowned as a modern-day lynching and what have you. The new Black Panther Party is out there. We're waiting for a response from them to share the link about the rally they have going on for justice. Cody, you ready to say anything? I don't have it. Can you send it to me? Email it to me? Can you email it to me? Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm submitting the GoFundMe fundraiser by Felicia seeking justice for Rasheem, excuse me. Definitely try to pitch in and try to help. I know we've been concentrating on um different things in our community that have been deserving our attention, but we have to stay open-minded and realize there's multiple things going on at one time. So we have to manage, our time, our money, and how we help each other, right? But this definitely deserves attention because all this thing about when we knew about when the black militias came out, how they would stand up, calling out the injustice or whatever, that brought a lot of us together in reference to the aftermath and how the government responded to them. But our job, from what them brothers and sisters did, our job to continue that and not be stuck on what happened then and not focus on what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? All this does is interrelate, but we have to definitely stay focused and focus on helping, providing, and making a way, whatever way we can with our people. But Rasheem Carter definitely needs attention. Just for Rasheem Carter is very, very important in a time where there's been so much attention put on police violence and the death of young men and women. It's really like mind-boggling to see that there was supposed to be some kind of transparent accountability with body cams and stuff like that to make sure that police officers are following proper protocol and protecting us as citizens and our rights and what have you. And they still are violating us. They're still doing things that we know that's not right. Being called out the Justice Department and everybody, and called all about even government officials and people and law enforcement have called it out. But really taking actions on it it's been very unfortunate. Nothing really to in my opinion really stands out to make us feel like we're safe. I yield the mic, Cody, if you want to continue. I'm still on new Black Panther Party to come in with the coverage and whatnot. Krista Muhammad, the chairwoman, is definitely out there. They're definitely going to be making noise and definitely demanding justice. Cody, are you going to speak? Cody? The boss, no, there's no information about the police taking no action against the boss in question. The person that he said that that didn't like him. So no, the boss wasn't questioned. What I know of, you know. All right, now I'm sorry. I know, I know. Um, that's something we have to investigate. Definitely communicate with people that's close to the case or what have you. I'm communicating right now with Brother Roosevelt, New Black Panther Party. He's gonna be doing a covering out there, and he's trying to get the link. I sent him the link, so I'm just waiting him to come in, and we can definitely get a close up on how it is out there, the climate, the inaction and whatnot, and how we expect to basically push and demand for justice for this brother, you know. And let me say this to add on what Dakota was saying. Um, yeah, it's not cool to assume anything, right? Like they say, well, protesting don't mean nothing, right? You rallying don't mean anything, right? But we seen protests in some cases created change or made a difference here and there, right? It's probably not something glorifying anymore because of the constant nonsense that we have to deal with as a people. But just imagine we if we don't do anything. Just imagine if we was just doing what we're doing, not just doing lives and so forth, more, and not going to support the families or going to support the community. Just imagine how things would be. And that's one of the reasons why I think they do what they do. And you know what they did? Because they are comfortable. But once you make them uncomfortable, you bring that uncomfortable conversation, you bring that comfortable rally, that uncomfortable protest, that uncomfortable demand for justice, then things change, you know. Then you got people that have been sitting on their book, gotta get up off their butt and do something. Even they try to conjure up a lie or fake news or story, you know. You're putting them on the hills where they have to say something. And we just gotta keep exposing them, you know. And this how I think is a start, really, to get the conversation going in our community, where we don't just be about talking, but walking it, and not a protest standpoint, but just going out there and turning our words into action and making a difference. So I'm still waiting on this brother. Cody, don't let you call him because he's saying he didn't get the link. He knows he was going to the link. I don't think he's really familiar with streaming and what have you. So I'm gonna let you cover some of this talk and get him on in his stream. Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying to send the link. He wasn't getting it through text, so I'm gonna send the link through email, and hopefully let me say this, and this is one of the reasons why I don't do a whole lot of videos anymore and cover a lot of things in our community because I'm gonna be real. There's so much fake stuff going on in reference to if you're not supporting this one, if you're not speaking about this one, then parts of our community won't support. You're talking about something else, and that is a disease in our community. That's a real mental issue in our community of understanding that there's no one person, no one organization bigger than a community. And when you have issues going in the community, you don't hold your guns or you don't try to overstand stuff that's obvious in front of you. When we speak about justice, justice shouldn't have a face. It should be something we want to do. It shouldn't be something we wait till somebody call up on us to do it, or grab arms, or make a speech. We supposed to be grooming our young people. A lot of us, we older, we very older. We won't be here long. We gotta groom the youth, the young people that's out here doing all kind of things they should be doing, and trying to get them focused on doing what they gotta do to take things to the next level. Because right now we are failing them. Cause see how they see how we doing. They see the things we doing. They see how we interact. They see how we fuss and fight. They see how there's a lot of drama going on one of the elders or the older people in the community that that um that don't look good. Don't look good. So I really believe at this point I'm past the nonsense. I'm past trying to prove anything to anybody and whatnot. I'm all about presenting the stories. I'm all about reaching the hearts and minds and the spirits of real melanated people that really genuinely care and want to make a difference. It's not about Major or Cody or nobody. It's about the issue at hand in our community and what we need to do. I'm gonna yield the floor, Cody. I still have a situation with this brother here. So why don't you take over for a second? Let me come in right quick. And yeah, and when correction code, he said a crackhead. He called him a crackhead too, by the way. He called him a crackhead. Come and look for a job and stirring up this, that, and other, right? So I just wanted to just point that out. Before Roosevelt is in now. News, facts, and comments. This is a Black media platform. Glad she mentioned it. The article is right here. She's talking about that was written. I did write it, but I do things under NFNC. I don't really try to get recognition for it. I'm just contributing to it. It's not coming up. What's up the link? All right, they go right here. It was written. That's the brother, right? Rasheem Carter. This the video we play and what have you. This the thing about the just a little cleanup, you know what I'm saying? Comment by Taylorsville police chief and what have you. So just to talk about that, but I don't want to be too long on this, but I just wanted to let y'all know, piggyback on what Cody was talking about, the Black media platform. They got about news, videos, services, advertising shop. They got more members in contact. Down here, they got subhead, the news, politics, opinion, sports, entertainment, finance, world, etc. It's a fire website. Shout out to Court and all the work she's doing. So when we share stories, most of them go here, and then they hit her platform and my platform. It's her platform. I'm just behind the scenes teaming up, and what have you. We're doing a lot of business together and whatnot. But before I bring on Roosevelt, or Cole, you want to have any last words about your website platform? Blessings, Roosevelt. How you doing, brother? Well, we live right now on Made TV and News, Facts, and Comments YouTube platforms. We have 22 people viewing. I know you're gonna be doing a covering, but you can also give us some commentating on about what's going on, what's your plans, and what have you.
Well, right now we are organizing, getting together, putting it in place. We're about to march over to the police department and strive to cause a ruckus over there so that we can get some type of police giving us the necessary information we need to make the arrest that needs to be made.
All right.
Out here, the communities are heavy. You know, the new Black Panthers is out heavy. So everything that's taking place is to cause these people to do what's required. You know, there's enough to make an arrest. You know, there's enough that we can see what happened, but there's not anyone that's stepping up to help bring this investigation to a head. You know, the police is ignoring what's being brought to their attention. So we not letting up. Right now, you know, the community is here, deep, and the family is here. So, you know, just increase the award to $50,000 for any information that could be brought to the forefront so that we can bring some justice to this young brother's lives who was taken, you know what I'm saying? So it's on from here, man. So we about to start moving and doing what's required, you know. We got Chief here.
Black Power Major.
Black Power, sister. How you doing? You ready?
Man, we on the front line here for justice, man. It's been
All right,
1 year. It's been too long. Don't worry about it, I'll make it work.
And this Krista Muhammad, chairwoman of the New Black Panther Party. She's definitely leading the New Black Panther Party out there in the rally and whatnot. How we looking? How y'all looking out there?
Oh man, it's looking good, soldier.
All right, all right. Cole, you have any questions? The question about the reward, what the funds for the 50,000, what the funds are really be going at in reference to what possibly increasing the possibility of arrest?
Well, from what we know with the award, we just offering that to the community in general, anybody within this area that can help bring more details to the actual event that took place. You know, they're trying to get someone who was involved or have gotten information from someone that was involved to start speaking up, you know, seeing that they would take the award and get the reward and give up some more details. But in this Mississippi area, we conceal, you know, this is a hate crime. So you're not gonna have what we have in the black community. You know, we quick to turn on each other, tell on each other, but in these white royal Mississippi towns, they don't turn on each other. You know, money is not gonna be the means by which they respond. You know, the only other thing is they get a heart of sympathy and feel the pain of what we feeling for the loss. That might do it. You know, they might get it conscious, but outside of that, they're not giving any type of sign of giving us any information, man.
Right.
So right now, we're gonna keep on moving as much as possible, as many marches as possible, and do what's required.
All right. So we gonna let you. We about to fall back. We're gonna blow the screen up and let you do your thing covering wise. If you want to talk to the people, talk to the people. If you need us, we'll come in and what have you. But it's all on y'all right now, my brother.
Black power.
All right, cool. We about to leave the screen for a second, my people, and we about to watch the rally. If you have any comments, any questions, we'll answer behind the scenes as y'all put in the comments.
You're larger than you are, so we're gonna come up 6 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet in between, keep your spacing, keep your line, so we can appear way larger than the size it actually is. Listen to the Panther. Y'all already know. Y'all know the drill. Listen to the Panthers. They security. If anything go on, this, the entry means the minute, the fist up means stop.
Follow the left foot of the person in front of you.
Ain't he leading this march? Not my quail. Hold that. Big brother. Hold on to that. I got you.
stay with the person all the way to the end of the destination, all the way to your destination.
I'm jumping on the back, Mom.
Don't allow no one to break right. Don't allow traffic to between your right. Don't allow people to break your right. Stay with your right. Stay with your right.
Hold on, Miss Bill.
Sorry about that. Hopefully come back in. I'm about to text him to make sure that he know what happened. Sorry about that. You back in, my brother? All right, you good. Do your thing, man. We need some sound. You got some sound? We need some sound. Sorry about that. Just texting for the sound. Like they're about to assemble, get organized, and start mobilizing. Here, Cody, we waiting on the sound right now. Bringing us in temporarily so we get some sound. I text him. Yeah, we waiting on. I'm trying to text. I text him for the sound. I'm about to text Chad Chris Muhammad to tell him to turn the volume, take mute off, or what have you. Yeah, of course. Praise, blessings and praise to that sister, man. New Black Panther Party and sisters and brothers out there. I text him and I text the Chris Muhammad about the mute issue. I'm not looking for him to respond. We can't hear. He's taking the head out of the video. I'm sorry about the sound issue, y'all. I'm trying to see if I can get his attention. Cause I don't know if you know it's on mute. I want to thank everybody viewing right now. Please share this video, share this story, like this story. Get the algorithm going. You know, we don't want nobody to look at this video and just pass it up. We see thousands and thousands of views. We see thousands. We can't hear. Can't to the other side. Yeah, we can. Sorry about that, but we see thousands of views on topics, issues that's not even important. A lot of it be funny. A lot of it be over the top. A lot of it be messy. Rumors. What's going on with this celebrity? What's going on with this person? Glorifying and glorifying things that's not even important. But this right here, we all need to be talking about this or pitching in some kind of way. So I just want to thank everybody and just tell y'all to just stay focused, stay in the fight. Don't be discouraged and don't let no one or anything, turn you away from what's going on. If anything, it should make you want to do something, say something, or share something. But the audio issues. I'm just gonna call him. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna call him.
You can hear me now? There's some hillbillies in that picture, huh? That are threatening my life. Is that right? Oh, my. Somebody say something about these hillbillies that are threatening my life. And my. I just need my phone, child. Just want to talk to my mother. Can I talk to my mother here? Huh? Oh, my. They said, we can't help you. Shop closed at the police station. The shop is closed. What do we want? Justice! What about these guys? And when do we want it? How are we going to pay for it? Strong black military. The black to call at the shop. All he wanted was a phone call. All he wanted was just a Uber. Rasheem Carter. Shut this motherfucker down. Shut this motherfucker down. No peace.
Rasheem Carter! Rasheem Carter! Rasheem Carter!
We don't get it.
Shut it down!
We don't get it.
Shut it down!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
we don't get it. We don't get it. Say his name.
Rasheem Carter! Rasheem Carter!
Everywhere you go,
People gonna know
people gonna know
who his name,
whose name.
Rasheem Carter.
Rasheem Carter.
Guilty of time. Can everybody say guilty of time?
One of the things it's majorly important. We know that this brother went to get assistance from the police department and asked for assistance, in which he was in assistance before he was murdered. So this is why the justice is needed for the police department.
And it's been invested in paid and elected officials. It's called malfeasance when you abandon the trust of the people. When you leave the volition of we the people, we find how do you find them on malfeasance? Guilty as charged. How do you find them on abuse of their power? Until they're charged. How do we find them? Hold on. We the people. Everybody with a weapon, please step on the outside of the fort. Please pay attention to the sign. And what's being said. We can't give them nothing. Because let's step in this parking lot over here, bro. Okay, on this side? Yeah. On the road or the parking lot. Just get off the park. Just get off the park, bro, so you ain't in no trouble. Just see the side. Ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal. We trying to cut you down today. That's right. Just go over there so they have something to say about you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a dirty deed. He can't got no Uber driver. He ain't got no phone charge. What kind of place is it? Did you find out? What kind of police department do they run at Taylorsville? With no charges for the iPhone. No Uber rides for the citizens that need Uber rides. When they fresh out, they help their son. Terrible thing to anybody. Terrible thing to do.
And that's what they're doing. They hide behind this. Go ahead.
That's right. Criminal. That's an arrestable offense. Criminal.
And she will be at rest. So y'all just rest this. Let it go. And let God, and he been shown.
Y'all be by mine and say, don't give up the fight.
No. Ain't no money gonna hold me.
Don't give up.
Same prison cell you sending our people in, you go to.
Good. Y'all come together, act like we love each other, form up, balloons in the middle. We all right. Everybody form up, form up, form up. His mother's gonna speak. Please pull your phones out and go live as she speaks. We'll let any family member that want to speak over Rasheem, and remember him and honor him, and then we'll release the balloons and continue with our march. So everybody gather around, get close, get close, get close. Come in, and you can hit the center whenever you're ready. I'll hold it, but you just hold it. Please hold it. But we'll wait on him. We'll wait on him.
Is somebody walking up behind you guys? No?
You're on your time.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You know, I'm not really the big speaker, but I'm gonna speak in honor of Rasheem Carter. Today, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to be with our families, and also the Black Panthers for being here, and the Black Panthers all over the world. And thank all of you that has came here today from everywhere just to be with us or have supported us throughout this journey. And I want to speak about Rasheem. Rasheem was a pillar, for real. He was a pillar for his community, for his family, for other families, for his daughter, for his brother, for his friends, and the list go on and on. If he couldn't make a difference in the lives of others, then he wasn't going to do anything at all. And if he wasn't smiling all the time, I don't know what to tell you. He had a smile that brightened the lives of others, as well as his mom and his family. But again, I do appreciate true dedication for everything that has went on throughout this journey. And I appreciate all the new people that's coming in to be with us throughout the journey. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and being with us today. And his legacy lives on. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Say his name. Rasheem. Say his name. Rasheem. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Say his name. Rasheem. You got something you want to say?
No, I don't. I want to thank all of y'all for coming out and supporting us every time that we plan something that y'all are here. And we are so grateful for everything that y'all do for us. Really appreciate it.
Got you. At this point, we're going to gather up. Where exactly you want to? I'll hold it.
Black Power family.
Black Power.
So, Miss Tiffany, we stand here for you. We're here to be your servants. Miss Katrina, you know we stand for you. Miss Mona, what's Miss Scott? What's your name? Miss Foster. Wow. All these families, what's taking place, y'all gotta understand, this is ethnic cleansing. These are acts of war. There's nothing but. As you said, your son was an upstanding pillar. Don't y'all know the majority of the lynchings were business people? They envy us. What they did was dirty. That police department needs to be shut down. There's nobody there anyway. But they need to be shut down. It's criminal.
Yes.
We're gonna have to organize stronger politically.
Yes.
You got all the forces you need right here. This brother right here, the only person arrested out of all these murders is Marquette.
Think about this. Think about it.
The freedom fighter. Nobody else got charges. But this brother, for standing up for you, for you, for you, for you. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Not one pig been arrested. Stevens Clemens ain't been arrested. The cracker that worked at the place that responsible for this. And I mean that. It's not racist, it's real. That word come from the plantation. From when they hitting the whip on our people's back, we call them crackers. They would beat us. They still doing it. That's not racist. What's racist is what happened to this beautiful young man right here. What happened to her beautiful son, and her beautiful son, and her beautiful son. They're going after our men and the women, but they can't stop us. 1 year later, y'all caught him when he was by himself.
That's right.
Y'all cowards. This is the kind of people we dealing with. When his family is here, his extended family, their extended family, they over cowering. It's not over. Today's an honor memorial. We're gonna really crank it up even more. Mark our words. Black power.
Black power.
Justice for Rasheem Carter.
Justice for Rasheem Carter.
And you know what? The land that he was found on, y'all need to sue them ASAP.
ASAP, right quick like
The
this.
land
Justice
that he found on.
right quick
So,
like forensic
why
files
you
and all that. You need to do that right now before you lose.
That's how Tiffany
forensic files and all of it. They can find justice. You can get justice.
So much injustice.
Got the name.
Real quick.
Tammy with Willie
Real
Jones
quick,
Jr.
like put them
They
on that.
hung her son in the
FBI,
front yard.
make them.
The whole family was in the house. Nobody went to
Make
jail.
them. They got to know
sued the
something. They
property
found them.
That's what y'all start there.
They know something.
That's right.
Say his name. Now I want to extend the right to any of my other impacted families by this racism and police violence to come speak if they choose to before we release the balloon.
Excuse me.
Hi, I want to thank you guys for coming to support Ms. Carter. Your support for her is a support for me as well. Not many of you all know about my story, but I just want to bring some things. My son, of course, just like Rasheem, he was a beautiful person. People loved him. There was a former NFL player who was the father of four. He was a wonderful husband. 10 years at the time that they took his life away from him. And he was pulled over for something minor. So
Mike check.
I want everyone to know that we are all at risk.
That's right.
Because of our skin color. Not because of who we are and what we do and how nice we are when they pull us over. They don't give a damn.
That's right.
No matter what we teach our children how to protect ourselves, or protect themselves when they're pulled over, they don't care. You can be obedient. They still want you. That's one less nigga that they have to worry about. But they are the nigga. And let them know that when they call you one.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Yes.
Go ahead, take
Miss Mona.
Mona. No.
Afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
I just want to say this is so powerful to see everyone here. The faces, some I don't recognize, many I do. What we'll do for each other, it goes without saying. It takes all of us, for us. Don't let it happen to you in order for it to matter to you. And I can twist it and turn it any way, but when it happened to me, I become part of the nightmare. I will be there for Tiffany, for the Carter family, for all the others, Jaheem, Glenn, the name go on and on, Omega, everyone, Andrew, there's Frederick Ford. You can say your name, please, this is live. Say your lost loved one's name. But I just want to say, this is impactful. Let's continue to support each other. Miss Tiffany, all the many families. It's just monumental that she has this support, continue to support the families. Thank you.
Say his name. Say his name. We don't get it. We don't get it. Any other words? Come on. You good? That's what you're here for. Got you. We love you.
We never got justice for my brother Ray Needham. He got killed. It's been a while back, but we still never got justice for it. So we all doing good though. I just want to say power to you, Mom. I'm sorry for your loss, baby.
We love you, Mom.
My cousin Frederick Ford, he got killed. Somebody threw him beside the road at his mom's house. I mean, let's just throw them out, and the police cleaned it up like nothing ever happened. And we've been seeking that justice for like forever.
We seeing a history of injustice in this racist town. I hate this racist place. I hate the people. I don't believe there are no good people here because they won't do right by Rasheem Carter and all the other victims of this racism and violence. Any members of the community before we go on with the balloon release that want to say something? Guys, come on, brother. My brother from Washington.
My name is Sheikh Al-Imam Akbar Abdullah Kareem Bilal. I am the national chairman of New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, and we are against any form of injustice, but especially when they come to blame the victim in the atrocity and there are no more arrests. And they will deny you or we the people the due process in a form of malfeasance, meaning the police are willing to abuse their power and go back to business as usual. They are willing to sacrifice any one of our sons. And if you don't stand for Rasheem Carter today, it's a matter of time when they run out of things to do and when they come for you. And that's the question, what you gonna do when they come for you? So we must arm ourselves or harm ourselves, as the words of Honorable Huey P. Newton. Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad told me that it is your God and your gun, and you must be willing to protect your vested interests as they have protected their vested interests. And you see the injustice around the world, and then it's a matter of time. By us doing nothing, our silence is a co-signing, and now justice is knocking on the doors of the White House, the Capitol. Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, there's a voice of justice going against injustice. Not just in Nigeria, not just in Montgomery, when you see the man jumps overboard and eventually finds the invention of Nathaniel Alexander and picks up the folding chair and uses it against his enemy, because the nature, self-preservation, is the first law of nature. Black power? Black power. So what do we want? Justice for Rasheem Carter. Now when do we want it? And tell me how we're going to take it. By any means necessary. What do you want? Justice for Rasheem Carter. And when do we want it? And tell me how we're going to take it. By any means necessary. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose land? Our land. Whose land? Our land. Power to the people. And I want to give the recognition to the mother of Mrs. Tiffany Carter and the sacrifice and the loss and the continuous patience and endurance and showing the strength of the Carter family. And we thank her for being the great mother of society and the mother of Rasheem Carter. Say his name. 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 Rasheem Carter. All power to the people.
I want y'all to pay attention to something. Black men all over the world, these black mothers should not be out here having to protest and do all this. Where we at? You know, we at the club, we at the football game, we chasing them, but when it's time to stand with them, where we at?
And we'll kill each other.
So we're gonna proceed to do the balloon release, and then we're gonna continue to march to do the press conference in front of the pig station. So where you wanna release the balloons at? We can't do it under here. Just move out. Come on.
Try to come in to find your partner. Try to find your partner. Team up. Do as you can. Come with the tools as you can. And you can find your partner. Partner up and get into it. Can we partner up and get into it? Stay with your partner. Away from the trees. Stay together. It's your unity is the only threat to the opposition. Your unity is the only threat to the opposition.
Say his name. Rasheem. Say his name.
Rasheem.
We don't get it.
We don't get it.
No justice.
No peace. From the racist. No peace. No justice. No peace. From the racist. No peace. No justice. No peace. From the Rasheem Carter. Rasheem Carter. Rasheem Carter. Rasheem Carter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Say his name.
Lord forgive me, just playing. Just playing. You know when I'm there. Okay, group. Hey, Bryce. I need the brother-in-law.
All right, that was the release. I was about to go march on the pig station called the police department. So we about to go straight there right now and get them to acknowledge that we're serious about what we want.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Let's roll. Let's roll.
No peace. Rasheem Carter. We don't get it. We don't get it. No justice. No peace. For the racist. No peace. No justice. No peace. For the racist. No peace. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. Our street. Our street. Who's land? Our land. Who's land? Our land. Who's land? Our land. Who's land? Our land. What do we want? Justice. For Rasheem Carter. When do we want it? Now. Tell me how we gonna get it. By any means necessary. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. How we gonna take it? By any means necessary. What do we want? Justice. For Rasheem Carter. When do we want it? Now. How we gonna take it? By any means necessary. What do we want? Justice. For Rasheem Carter. When do we want it? Now. How we gonna take it? By any means necessary. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Rasheem Carter. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Goddamn. No justice! No justice! No justice! If we don't get it, what do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, say his name. Say his name. Say his name. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? If we don't get it, if we don't get it,
make sure everybody comes to
say his name. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, say his name. Say his name. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it,
going to the police department, wherever that's at.
to the right.
Right. Right.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Say his name! And don't forget that name. Say his name! Say his name! If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, no justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Say his name! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! Justice for Rasheem Carter! Justice for Rasheem Carter! Justice for Rasheem Carter! No justice! No peace! Police! No justice! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Justice for Rasheem Carter! Justice for Rasheem Carter! Justice for Rasheem Carter! 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 Rasheem Carter!
So this is where we are right now. This is the police department.
Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police!
No justice.
No peace!
The racist.
Police!
No justice.
No peace!
The racist.
Police!
No justice.
No peace!
The racist.
Police!
Black power.
Black power!
Black power. Black power. Black power. Strong black military.
Everybody come up in front of the front door. Be at their front door. This was gonna be in the shop. We're gonna continue to let them know where we at, why we here, and who's denying Rasheem's justice.
That's right. This way not, they didn't have no charge for the phone. Couldn't reach out to the mother and father. Couldn't find a way to Uber ride
our brother to his destination. He said, oh, but there's some racists in the pickup that's threatening my life. Oh, it's a terrible thing that done to us here. And far too many terrible things continue to be done to us. And we need justice for Rasheem Carter. What do you want? Justice for Rasheem Carter. What do you want? Justice for Rasheem Carter. And when do you want it? Now. How are we going to get it? All power to the people. All power to the people.
Katrina, Miss Tasha, come on, y'all come up front. Y'all come up front. But Katrina, responsible. I know the family right here in the front, and then all my impacted mothers got to go around the family. And then right here for the first time. They get centered around the city. Y'all love. You right beside it, and everybody else gonna feel it. You two Tasha, come up. No, him is right there. All the family wants to see all the red shirts. Perfect. Right. Matter of fact, you can come get us and let them say, get in the gap right behind. Right there. There you go. You come up and get big right beside. That's the shot. You get right here. Let me know when you're Markwell Bridge, building bridges for community unity and progress. We're out here with the Rasheem Carter family supporters. We want to thank everyone for coming and supporting and standing with this family. This is the 1 year anniversary. She's surrounded by fellow family supporters, Panthers, fellow impacted mothers, the mother of Jaheim McMillan, Ronald Green, and Glenn Foster Jr. We all here to stand in solidarity with the Carter family and demand justice for Rasheem. Now his mother is going to say a couple words, Ms. Tiffany.
Good evening. First, giving honor to God, I want to say thank him. I want to thank him for being here today, in spite of the circumstances that I have to go through on a daily basis. But what I want to say today, God is not pleased and God is not done yet. And when God puts his hands on any situation in your life, you better believe it. It's already done. It's already done. And for the children out here today, you know, they get a chance to see what really goes on in this world today. And they can make a difference. Train them while they're young. Train them, teach them while they're young. So when it's time to stand, they can stand. And 1 year ago today, my son came here asking for help. He was denied the help that he needed. And whatever took place, God knows what they did. God knows everything. And God is not done. And he will never be done until he exposed each individual that has something to do with it. And all the other things that they have done here in this community and surrounding areas, God's gonna expose all the hands involved. But again, I want to say thank you for coming. Yet I don't want to be on this ground, but for my son, I'll stand on this ground.
Say his name. Rasheem Carter. Say his name. Rasheem Carter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, it's been a year already. Let's talk about what it's like been like without Rasheem.
Oh, wow. My sons. Life without my son has been hard. Yet I can't give up because he have a daughter, 7 years old, that still got to go on. And you know, every day is different for me. I can't say I get up feeling the same every day because I don't. And only God is the same. So at the end of the day, life has been hard, but I got to keep pushing. Whether I want to get up and push or not, I got to keep pushing. I got to keep fighting because they won't let it be like that, you know, and God won't let it be like that either. So I got to push even when I don't want to push.
Say his name.
Rasheem Carter.
Say his name.
Rasheem Carter.
No justice.
No peace.
Yeah, I would share a few words from that.
Can you just say and spell your name?
My name is Sheikh, S-H-E-I-K-H. Imam, I-M-A-M. Akbar, A-K-B-A-R. We are the New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. And we've come to support Mrs. Tiffany Carter and the Carter family and the friends and associates that have gathered here for the press conference to let the world know that a grave injustice has been done here, and the taking of the life of the son and the decapitation of the body. Some parts are found here, parts are found elsewhere. But from my information, the Carter family found some of those parts in different places and even extended to the pig's pen to say that the Carter family is not a human. They want to reduce you to that of less than a domesticated animal. And we say that we must fight for justice, especially for Rasheem Carter, who did not deserve. He was a man who was, again, just getting up, attempting to return to his destination from work, attempting to go to work on the morrow, on the next day, to work again, to provide for his family. Than a BMW, a black man working, and they don't want you to even be a black man working. That's right. And he said that there are men in pickups that are threatening my life. He felt his life was threatened and came here to 107, what is this, Thomas? To 107 Thomas Street and found no refuge, meaning that they did not uphold the principle of justice, that's right, due process, and they have denied. This is called criminal neglect and malfeasance, meaning an elected or duly appointed administration who would deny justice to the ordinary citizen, then they should be uprooted. We should come here with the intention to clean house of those kind of administrators. And we should come up and change this dynamic on the ground and see to it that this will never happen to another individual ever again. Can y'all say with me? Never, never, ever again.
Never,
Never,
ever, ever again.
Never, never, ever again. Never, never, ever again. Power to we the people and justice for Rasheem Carter and the greatest of support for the mothers, Mrs. Tiffany, and all of the brothers and sisters here, especially our big brother who is tough. Come out and say something, brother, to let them know that you're not going to allow the injustice to go unanswered, and we will ban with this.
Hey, Bob,
power to the people.
they said Gabe Horn is over there. They want you to talk to him over there.
Gabe Horn? Where is he?
This horrific murder, this lynching happened 4 days before they killed 15-year-old Jaheem. We have a long history of murder, racism, violence, and cover-ups. We're tired. We're extremely tired. We're tired of being tired. And we're growing very, very impatient. We're tired of waiting on their justice. We're going to get justice by any means necessary. It's been zero transparency from the police department. The family has a $50,000 reward for any ounces, and yet this racist town is not saying no word. So we know it's an inside job. We know that Gabe Horn drive a white truck. We know that the boss drive a white truck. Everything that Rasheem, with his intelligence, was to text his mother is true. And we've done our due diligence. We know who's involved. We know what he was found, and they know. And we're demanding that they hold him accountable.
Is it true the family is trying to contact law enforcement and they refuse to talk? Is it true the family has tried to contact law enforcement?
The family had to launch their own search party. They've been on the ground since the beginning. The police hadn't helped them in any way. The same way they turned Rasheem away twice, they turned his family away.
Think about it.
Definitely. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, we want you to know one last thing. The sheriff has to ask a question. The investigative journalism and the investigative journalism should not allow him to go unquestioned.
Bring your livestock with you. Your hog that you out there in the month. Cover up, see? Ladies, cover up, see?
Yes, he knows. Yes, he knows. Yes.
Brothers and sisters, this is the end of the protest. The sheriff is just riding by. They're not coming to participate.
Does he know? Yes, he knows. Yes, he knows. What happened to Rasheem Carter?
This is the police department that needs to be shut down. Because anytime a citizen can come to this place seeking assistance and don't get it, it's major. So we're going to sign out. Appreciate you. Welcome to the movement. If we can be of any assistance to anyone else that need us, please reach out. The new Black Panther Party is available. The YP movement is available. Brothers.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I just want to say thank you, man. Y'all keep fighting, keep supporting the family, man, and keep exposing the truth about what's going on out there.
Yes, sir. But stay consistent and excellent, brother. Love you, appreciate what you're doing, brother. Look forward to communicating with you a little bit more.
All right,
Keep
my
it
brother.
100,
Peace.
God body.
All right, peace. Shalom, McCordy. I want to thank everybody viewing. It was very interesting out there. Shout out to the new Black Panther Party, the family, the organizers and supporters and young people out here that's paying attention, that's involved with this gruesome situation, Rasheem Carter being lynched, and the police not doing anything about it. What you're taking, what you think, and what have you. Because we're going to open the phone lines. I'm also submit a link for y'all to come in, give y'all comments and whatnot. I'm going to let Cody come in and speak. I won't lie. It remind me of the lynching of a brother in Southern Georgia. I can't remember his name. And I went down and covered me and my team, right? And I felt like I should have been there, you know what I'm saying? Which was short news when Chairwoman Chris Muhammad, the new Black Panther Party, reached out to me and whatnot. So I couldn't really just say I'm gonna leave out there, but I miss it. You know, it's nothing like being around your people and connecting with no people that is concerned about what's going on in the community, not people that's sitting on their own cell phones, their tablets, iPads, or computers or whatnot, communicating with people really out there putting boots in the ground. I miss that. So yes, sister, that's something that I truly miss. And just the fact of just seeing young people out there, right? Young people that's concerned, that's speaking up, what have you. And it's our responsibility as elder community to guide these young people in the right direction. You have the number you want to share, the link I want to share as well. If anybody want to come in, y'all want to comment about it, what y'all think about it and what have you. I know a lot of us are not really for protest and rally. A lot of us think really big, and that's cool. But I feel like while we thinking big and think we should do this, that, and other, what about the me concerned our community? That's my biggest criticism for all the people that speaking. Oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Okay, cool, we do have to do that, but what about all these things that's going on around us that we not, addressing? Because we said address the violence in our community. I don't believe that we'll ever be respected if we can't deal with the violence in our community, because there's a paradox for the complaint about police violence, which is not right against us, but what about the violence in our community? So it's a contradiction right there that we got to work on. But we have to first get our stuff together, get our house together first, so we can get that respect. Because they say, how can someone respect you if you don't respect yourself? And I understand what they did in sabotaging us, the genocidal aspect, as well as how they socially, politically, economically set things up as disadvantaged us. I understand it. But we know what's going on, so what are we going to do about it? So I dropped the link into the comments if anybody want to come in. We're going to be joining live probably another 30 minutes just to get, people in tune with what's going on. We want to hear what you have to say. Of course, do you have a number you want them to call if they don't want to come through the live or whatnot? Sister DD Taylor, shalom, Sister DD Taylor. Blessings, how you doing? Thank you for coming through.
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for having me. And sis, thank you, Sister Cody Speaks, for, sending me the link. Unfortunately, I didn't check my phone earlier. Yes. And Major TV and Sister Cody, how y'all doing?
Blessed.
Okay, good. Well, I have a slight cold, so please excuse my voice.
Oh, are you good?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, man, I am lost for words. That young man, he tried, contacting his mother. Actually, he did get in contact with his mom.
Yeah, he contacted, yeah. His mom was one directing the whole way.
Right. And then when he went to the police station, for them to send him away, to me, it's like, it almost looked like they're in cahoots. Anytime you send a civilian away when they fear for their life and they feel like they're in harm's way of somebody out to get them, and you literally send them away from your precinct, you're the people that's supposed to protect and serve, or serve and protect, and this happens, they're responsible for this. This is an atrocity. This is a lynching, if you will, and for the same, again, people or entity that we're supposed to go to get the help that we need. This right here and so many other cases cases we know of, and some we don't. Most we probably don't. But it just show and prove how we are looked upon, how we are treated, and this is just a circle. It's like it's repetitive. It constantly repeats itself. Now, what should we do? That was the question. I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, okay? But I was talking to someone. This is just me. I was talking to someone the other day, and they're so quick to want us to forgive, forget, and all this other stuff. I said, if something like this happens to me, and not to minimize what happened to our brother, because he is us, but I said, man, if someone took my baby and all my children are grown and did anything to my children, I wouldn't be on no live with no Ben Crump or any of these black attorneys or white attorney, whoever, saying I forgive you. No, I'm going to get you, would be my words. I am going to get you. I'm looking for you, would be my words. At some point, when do we get tired of allowing this to happen? And then depending on the very people, okay, I'm trying to, put it politely, to help us.
Well,
and we see what just happened to that brother. I'm sorry, go ahead. Major, go ahead.
We have to start understanding. I feel the same way. But see, I think that's a big problem in our community. We have to realize all of us not built the same. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to understand that I do agree with you, but I think at the same time, you got to accept people who they are, right? And let them play in a position and what have you. But I agree, I couldn't take it neither. But I think that the real question is like right now, we had the situation with the black militias, right? Then the rise of GMG and all these gun clubs and what have you. And right now, within a single strike or two, we don't even hear about it no more, right? As far as the gunmen stepping and whatnot. And my issue is the fact, in my humble opinion, before we even talk to what we talk about self-determination and this, that, and other, we have to have structure and being like mine, like you're saying. Not saying we all have to agree with what you just said, but come to grips with realizing we can't be as sympathetic. We can't be as overstanding when they are doing things to us daily. This is war. It's an act of war. And it's not something that just happened, been going on since slavery. You know what I'm saying? But for us, the community, there's been a divide how we respond to it. As a result, we've been stalemated on our move.
Right. And if I can say this too, Major, at what time does money equate for the loss of your child, your family, our family as a whole? At what time does millions of dollars just cover over you never getting your child back? And I'm not talking about that sister. No, I'm saying people in general. You got these black families going up there in front of the damn camera with the Ben Crump or whoever, whatever, saying, we have to forgive. They start that shit with our brother King. Oh my God, I'm sorry, you guys. You have to forgive me. Our brother
You
King.
want to be yourself. Anybody speak on the platform, be yourself. Just because you heard profanity come from me, you can do it respectfully. Long as it's not.
Definitely. Definitely. And you guys, you know what? Right now, I'm just so angry. What is our brother's name? The 95 situation in LA with the cops beating the shit. King, what's his name? Somebody help me out, please, if you remember.
The cop
our
name?
brother, no, our brother it was like Rodney King. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so upset. Thank you, sis. Like our brother Rodney King, he stood in front of the cameras and he was like, forgive, man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, like I said before, that's why they don't respect us. And I'm saying the government as a whole. Now listen, what happened to that brother and what happens to many of our brothers and sisters, the young and the elderly, they look at us like we're weak, like we're nothing but a bunch of punks. They can do what they want to us because we have not shown anything. We have not shown them, look, we are tired. Once you show you tired, then they'll be tired of doing what they do. Now, and I agree with you, Brother Major. You're right. And I had to, I was talking to Miss Watchman, in fact, the other day. I said, you know what? I've come to the realization that there's two types of people. We got the warrior class and we got the coward class. There's nothing in between. There's no lukewarm. Warrior and coward, okay? I sit amongst the warrior class, okay? That's why I fight so hard for what's right for our people. You know, if what happened to our brother George Floyd, if I was standing there, they would have shot me. They literally would have shot me. I cannot stand around with a phone camera and tape some stuff while our people are being brutally killed. I can't do it. Or brutally hurt. I cannot do it. I would be the person on the news with a bullet at me, on me. Okay?
I'm gonna say this, Ms. I'll give you some pushback. You have millions of people say that, but when it's different when it really happened to you. I never fight with the police. I'm not the police outright, but they riding to kill me later. But I didn't see a bunch of street dudes and live dudes in the streets that talk all that noise when they'll kill each other but won't do nothing to the police. And my thing is, I can't say I don't believe you, but so many of us say that, even with all these black militias. But when it's time for the get down, it's a different story. So my thing is, all right, I'm gonna believe you. But there's so many people that say that when they be in them positions sometime and don't do nothing. Because you don't have to really record. If you don't do nothing, you complicit to it. And I think just because of what they have done to us, and the fear you talking about, the car you talking about, I don't like to give nobody no title. It's just a reality. We all are checkmate to a certain extent, even those who have a little power, because there's so much you can do in this, in this country, you know what I'm saying, without them eventually doing what they do to you. Because we done had people stood up in Dallas and Baton Rouge and respond and kill police. We forgot about it. We don't talk about that. You know why people didn't want to talk about it? Because it wasn't a popular conversation. But there are people that have stood up against the police, have killed the police. But you don't catch nobody talking about that. Because you know why? They don't want to go to jail. They don't get killed. So I just want to say that because I feel you, boo, but a lot of us say that. We're in that position. That's like, oh, I never rat. So when they get caught, they tell him. You feel me? So I just want to just say a little something about that because words have power. And when you're talking about what you would never do, you might be gonna put in that position, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully, because you're never tested, trust me, you never tested your back against the wall. That's when you know when you're a man or a woman, you know what I'm saying? When you really can truly say, I would stand that test, in my opinion, right? A lot of us we don't know how strong we are. We don't know what we really about till we put our back against the wall, and then when we measure by how we handle it, in my opinion.
Shalom, shalom, family. Good to see you, Cody Speaks. Brother Major, Sister Dee, and those who are watching the live and those who will watch the recording later. It is time out for doubting when someone steps up and tells you what they will do, because you're judging their perceived actions by your own fears. Perception is a monster. A person can speak with you with the most respectful tone in correction, And because of the way you perceive it in your own mind, you will be offended sometimes. And I say to you, Brother Major, and everyone who's listening under my ear, I am that warrior queen who does and will always stand up. I will always step out. I refuse to watch a brother or a sister die alone. And as Sister Dee Dee was saying, had I been around when they were on George Floyd, and I've always said this, and I know beyond any shadow of a doubt, I mean this because I know my walk in life. I know what I do. I know what I have done. I know me better than anybody else. Either I and George Floyd would have went to jail together or we would have died together. There's no way, Brother Major, I'm going to be in the midst and watching anyone. I don't give a damn about their uniform. Because if you have a uniform on and you are committing a criminal act, you are just a criminal in a uniform. You are not a police officer. And we have to realize when they cross that line, because the Constitution itself backs our actions up. And what our actions should be is to step in and defend. We don't have to be standing out there like the Black Panther Party did with our firearms in our hands and calling the police pigs and all of this. But we need to always stay ready so that we don't have to get ready. And when we see police officers step out of line, especially when there are more of us than there are of them, we need to step in and become those justice fighters.
Yep.
We need to become the police of our own neighborhoods and communities. When we see criminals in uniforms pretending to be law enforcement, breaking the law, violating the law, I'm talking about aggravatedly assaulting and taking the lives of our brothers and sisters. We have a right to do that. All of that goes with self-determination as well. But you have a constitutional and a humane right to save the life of someone that you see in danger. See, that's where justifiable homicide comes in at, because you're saving a life. And I don't ever want you all to forget that. And don't forget, what we allow them to do to one, we give them permission to do to all. Another reason why we should all, at least once a week, I don't care if it's a McDonald's meal, a soda you would have drunk, an alcoholic beverage, make a contribution to Othel.org. We got a victory in round one. We need to be ready for round two. Round two is to bring him home. We beat the death penalty. Now it's time to bring him home because he did no wrong, and we all know that. If we let him continue to sit behind those bars and be on a prison sentence that he does not deserve, what we are saying to them is, we give you permission to do this exact same thing to the rest of us. It is time not only to bring Zone Wallace home by going to Othel.org, it is also time to bring Grandmaster J, John Fitzgerald Johnson, home. Support both of our brothers. They are political prisoners. And if you all know of others, you need to bring them to the light and make us aware of them. Our brother Spike, he went out there, he was bringing awareness, and he ended up losing 2 years of his life. He is a warrior king, and we know it. We don't need to let our warriors stand alone on the front lines. When they step up and something happens, we all need to be able to back them. And the People's Legal Aid Program is how Othel.org came about, how Othel's legal defense team came about, how he was dressed for court. That is how that all came about. And that is a nonprofit organization for our brothers and sisters who find themselves in these situations where they defend themselves or someone else against these state actors in uniforms, so that they don't have to brunt the bill for standing up, so that they don't have to brunt that bill for stepping out. But we are all brunting the bill, and at the same time, we set case law when we step up and put our money where our mouth is. And Brother Major, you're talking to a sister right here who, beyond any shadow of a doubt, has on many occasions and will continue to stand off with the police when the police are wrong.
I'm not listening.
Let
me clarify something. I know y'all don't know me like, y'all really don't know me like, and I get it. I really try to not make my story be a story. I just don't call people cowards unless I really see people being cowards, right? And I know on TV, I've seen stuff happen. Yeah, you can really question why they're viewing. I just feel like the division of our community and calling each other out, this, that, and other, and not knowing if they've ever been in a predicament, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta get pushed back to Cody and say that people are not scared. I agree with the community. You don't just respond to them if you don't have no structure. Look what happened with GMJ and Otho. We literally had to run down a handful of people, not a whole lot of people, to contribute. You know what I'm saying? And these brothers on a national stage, but got that much of support. And I'm just saying, though, we still have to be smart. I can easily act right now and do something, right? And go to jail. I'm not the one to ask for donations and stuff like that, right? I kind of weird. I got a little paralegal degree. I know a little something about the law, right? But to make a long story short, right? And I beat the system a couple of times. Even when I fought the police, I beat the charge, right? The point I'm trying to make is we just can't be talking we need to do this, that, and other, and have no organization. That's how easy it is for them to dismantle whatever we're doing. We get in front of the camera, we see all this stuff while we know they documenting and what have you, and we know they use it in Otho and they use it in GMJ trial. Where is the intelligence at? So for me, I won't recommend on my platform nobody up and do nothing without being instruction unless they're ready to do what them brothers did, that brother did in Dallas and what he did in Baton Rouge, where they killed police officers, right? And we don't talk about that, where people actually took actions along with other people and what have you. So my point is, I'm not here to say I'm this, that, and other, because my track record speaks for that. That's why I don't have to call myself no man. I know what I am. I know them already. I have to call myself this. I know what I am already. My track record speaks for myself. I'm just saying, personally, we got to watch how we express ourselves to the community, because you could say something like that, people respond to it and do something crazy, and they ask for donations, and they wouldn't even organize. You don't even know nothing about them. And before you know it, they throw it away in the system. So for me, I'm saying it should be taxed. And I don't see nothing in my eyes that I ain't seen since I started making TV where there's tax. It's been too easy for the power to be to come in and dismantle something that could have been strong. So I'm talking about personally, watching TV, hearing what was going on, I went down there and met all these people. People was wondering how I met GMJ. I was filming videos and talk about them, and I met GMJ. And I met different brothers and sisters when they were putting boots on the ground. I resulted in me putting boots on the ground, seeing what's happening. Because I'm the type of person that I say hashtag turn word into action, so I don't just talk. The reason why I don't talk about this and talk about that is a lot of stuff behind the scenes people don't know. Messy, crazy stuff that was going on. A lot of people was being dogged and messed over. Nobody was even talking about it. I was even letting lies go on my platform. People infiltrate my platform who I know they was. I got receipts and everything. I don't bring it to the community because I'm not a talker. I'm not messy. I just fall back and stop talking about things. But I just don't like the loose list say nothing, because we don't know what our people really about. People know who I was. People don't know nothing about me. I just started this platform, what have you. And of course, talking about Infact and Jim J, I got a lot of subscribers and what have you. But my whole point was I just wanted to see what it was, because I'm watching people just go at this brother and attack this brother. I'm like, damn, give him a chance. And I just went to speaking and pushing it, right? When it got messy, I backed up because I'm not with the messy stuff. I tell Cody in a minute, keep me out of it. Because if we don't realize our community comes first, and we just putting one person or group above our community, we messing up. And that's why I dropped the video about no one person or organization is big in our community. We got to understand the community got to be involved. But we writing people out saying this, that, and other. I guess I'm scared too, because I hadn't responded to a lot of things over my years. I did all the time in prison. I'm not trying to go back to prison. There's no organization and what have you. The reason why these organizations are falling because there's no real structure. There's a lot of narcissism, egotism going on that we don't address. It's good people in the organization get messed over, pushed around, and what have you. There's so much chaos just in the small black media platforms among each other. It's crazy. So for me personally, I feel like we got to be tactful. Even the ones that we call cowards can be the very ones that got an idea or can manufacture, create something to really contribute to our community. Because of the division that we have, and because we understand that we got to sometimes meet people where they at and try to help build them, to bring them to the point of seeing the light, I think it's going to be a problem. And that's why I think, for me personally, we haven't had a provisional government. All this time, we got people at organizations and stuff, they're provisional government, but it's not associated with the whole community. So nobody don't really want to get involved with it because they don't have a big following, but you have the community involved. And I know everybody won't be involved. Then you make and see change. But you got small groups that's really not established. The nation's line will easily be dismantled. And even with the nation, we know they've been infiltrated. So for me, I just feel like we have to be tactful the way we use words. It ain't about what we did and blah, blah. It's about what we're doing now. And right now, the people that's listening and what have you, like for instance, I've been around for a minute, right? But if I wasn't talking about a certain person, a certain thing, I wasn't getting when I was just talking about things in general, educating our people about financial literacy and so forth, they didn't want to hear all that. We got a lot of people just running behind certain people and just want to hear popular stories and not really as active as we believe they are. So for me, in my humble opinion, I said we got to be tactful. I don't think we can just say our community is scared. They're smart. Look at it. They just go out there and do something stupid, and we don't support them like what's going on with GMJ. We're still asking for money for GMJ and Otha. That's ridiculous. And we seen what they did. So I just feel like we got to be smarter, much smarter, and not just do any and everything just to get a little clout and then go to jail and then be rapping to get out. Knowing that your rights been violated, knowing you almost got killed, knowing you fight for other people's rights and what have you. It's deep. It's real deep. So I'm going to always play that position. I'm not going to just say, well, we should do this, that, and other. What I was discussing as a group was best for us. It wasn't about me. I said about black people. Rightfully so, it should. I feel. I don't want to lose my stuff going to jail. You don't want to lose your stuff. They don't want to lose their stuff. Let's be realistic. You ain't just trying to go get caught up, though, bro. We got to be realistic about it. Nobody not trying to do nothing stupid and go to jail, bro. There's nothing wrong with fear. All fear is not bad, Cody. But that don't mean I don't have no fear, Cody. That don't mean I don't live with fear. That don't mean that I don't have concern. I'm just letting you know I'm not gonna let anyone say somebody's wrong with somebody being fearful when they have established something and you're saying, well, hey, all right, don't worry about fear, just do this, that, and other. There's no structure around you. Can't we see what they just did, our brothers? She reached out to me, sweetheart, and I just did it. She reached out to me. You know the backstory of me. I don't know why. I mean, you know the backstory of what happened to me. I don't know why we going back and forth. You know what happened. You know about the messy, rotten, dirty stuff. You got receipts that I showed you. I don't know why you're not even having this back and forth. You know what happened. But you make me seem like I'm dismissing you You make it sound I'm dismissing you because I'm saying there's nothing wrong with fear. I'm talking about just understanding the fact that when I say spirit, I'm not saying that you're a coward. I'm saying you conscious of the fact that if you just boldly walk into something and don't have a strategy, what you said, you didn't say our strategy at first, you didn't say that. So now I get what you're saying. But I'm saying though, while we saying it like that, I just wanted to kind of bring clarity. That's all I'm trying to bring, because I feel like our people are kind of fearful. And I feel like rightfully so, if they lose everything based upon them walking boldly and not understanding ins and outs. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, can I say something like that? Okay, thank you. I just want to say this real quick. Okay, in the medical field, if a car accident happened, let's say hypothetically a pedestrian was walking across the street and unfortunately got hit. Let's say people got out of their cars. If there's a doctor, a nurse, or anyone who knows how to do, the medical work to help this person before the ambulance come by to save them or to take over, it is that medical person's mandated duty by law, especially if it's a doctor, a nurse, or someone within the practice, to help that person. So now let's flip it over. If we see so-called police officers causing harm and death or anything close to death to a civilian, it is our duty to save or try to save that person's life. So if it works for the medical field and is mandatory, it also should work for helping the life of a brother or sister that at one point this cop was an officer. Mentally, he took that uniform off and became a thug, became a gangster. Because again, there's so many things out there, so many situations out there that's taking place to where at some point we have to remember it's our duty to help this person, because that cop is no longer a police officer. That cop is a thug, okay? Period. And that's the point I want to bring about. It is our duty to help a brother and sister, okay? If they are being hurt or possibly close to death by these thugs in uniform. And I yield the floor. Thank you.
I don't disagree with that. I do believe we should stand up for each other. I don't disagree with that. I just don't like to call nobody a coward without me really knowing, like I said, because this been going, they've been killing us. We know about the Deacon Defense. We know about the Black Panther Party. That's why I was so surprised when Jim J and them came on the scene. Like everybody was so shocked. A lot of older people, and this was going on when y'all was around. So I understand what the disconnect was at. You know what I'm saying? Everything was just beautiful to see somebody step up. But the new Black Panther Party, they've been around. They've been, doing different things, So I don't understand where the disconnect came in that. And at the end of the day, it's like we're talking the same thing we've been talking since I started major TV, and I have not seen no structure at all. None. I see, if anything, we took our mind, we took our focus off the community. Now we focus on helping brothers and sisters that got caught up, or brothers that got caught up, and we hardly ever really talk about what's going on in the community anymore.
I would like to say this, Brother Major. One thing that we as a people must first do is put aside our differences. And for those who step up into a leadership role, those who are closest to that individual need to have enough love for that brother or sister to correct them when they are wrong. And that brother or that sister needs to have enough humbleness to accept correction when it comes. I don't care what your sexuality is, your sexual preference. I don't care who you choose to date or who you choose to marry. Whatever affects you affects me. Whatever affects me affects you within this system. And if there is fear, it constantly holds us back from progressing as a nationality of people. We become complacent and we accept whatever they throw at us, just like whenever they get ready to, they want to call us a different race. Let's get to what our true nationality is. And let's stand up for us as a people, period. There are things that we need to discuss and talk about that cannot be talked about on these people's platforms. There's a lot that I would like to say, but wisdom tells me it has to be a face-to-face meeting, and our devices have to be in a totally different place. Because then they take whatever information they can obtain from you because you've openly spoken about it on an open platform like this, and they use it against you. I say to you, my brother, we need to hold on to self-determination. And when a brother or a sister steps up and starts talking to you about that self-determination, especially when it's a face-to-face meeting, not just listen to what they say, but research it. Get with them because you might have some information that they don't have, and you put that information to perfect the plan for us to move forward as a people. I take my hat off to Brother Ramzu Giannis. Me, myself, I want to go to Detroit because I need to talk to some people up there so that I can learn how to do what they're doing up there right here where I am. And if we all join in and do that, guess what? This country has no say-so, no power over us, period. And that's as far as I'm going to take that right here.
Let me say this. Like, and I just a little pushback. I did confront it, whoever, did something to me. I can forgive, but something that I can't let go. And I'm gonna just leave it right there, right? And then there's a lot of things y'all like. I'm not gonna put that out there like that. I really put boots on the ground. I met Ramzu and Jim J and all of them, right? You know what I'm saying? I know about their plans, researching and everything, right? I've gave my input, you know what I'm saying? But when people are starch and set on certain things and you can't waver them, you gotta let them be what they be. But I'm not going on a rabbit hole because you or anyone on this platform tell me what I should do. Malcolm X said we should think, research, and find things for ourselves. I think we are too reactive without doing the research, without really knowing what's going on. You got a lot of us just looking for a Messiah, looking for somebody to rescue us. Know how I judge an individual by the fruits they bear. The Bible speak about that, right? I don't care about what people say out their mouth. I watch their actions. I watch people's actions. See, if a person not doing that right now, I read a proverb, right? It's better act on an idea than talk about an idea, right? I catch a lot of people doing a lot of talking. I don't see a lot of action. And when I see people doing action, they don't have it all together. And when you try to give them a little advice, the conversation go left, right? Or they don't want to hear you. That's why I don't do these videos no more. I'm really completely done with major TV. I do things here and there because I had a taste of this. I already knew how I was going to be. The most pushback I got back with my people. Them Caucasians, I already know how they are. I know they're raised already. My people. Because mentally, what happened in slavery and how it been handed down to us, that's still going on. The change image of psychological slavery, like Naeem Mackey was talking about his books. We really, soon we learn something, that stuff go our head. We think we the smartest person in the room. And we can read one book, then we know everything. Been there and done that. And I'm just saying to you, to me, I ain't talking about me talking, I'm talking about meeting people, travel. I'm a truck driver, and I can go anywhere I want. You feel me? Now I can fly free wherever I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that just do videos, but I'm tired. I'm tired of just seeing a lot of this talk, this, that, another mess on different platforms and what have you. When people can see mess coming their way, still they get away from it, they entertain it. I'm not trying to entertain mess, but for me, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from, I've been doing the platform over 3 years, so I'm speaking from what I know. That's why me and Cody sometimes go back and forth. She have a certain way how she look at things. I have a certain way how I look at things. I'm not like a Johnny come late to this. I just want to meet some of the new faces and stuff and see what's going on. But I've talked to these brothers, and I still can communicate with these brothers or what have you. But I'm not going on a rabbit hole just because one believe his way right, as opposed to sitting out talking with our community and really coming up with the real plan solution to make things better.
I feel that they should have. This is the young man who called for help, correct? They should have went and picked him up because law enforcement has the power to do this. All they have to do is call it in and let them know where they're transporting him to. And they make connections with the next state so that they can transfer him to another officer's car so that they can take him to safety. That is what should have happened. That is protocol. Correct. And they've done it. I even had a situation where here in my city, someone hit me a couple of years ago, and they totaled my car. No, this was last year. They hit me last year and totaled my car, and I was waiting for someone to come and pick me up. And the police officer told me, he said, "I can't leave you here, and you can call them and let them know I will be taking you home." He called that information in, he wrote it up on his report, and he took me home. This is their duty. This is part of their responsibility. All of this goes with serving and protecting. There's no reason why Rasheem shouldn't be here.
Thank you. Yes, please. Miss Washington, Queen Washington. I mean Washington. Sorry, I said Washington. Anyway, our sis, Miss Washington, she said it best. I mean, where does the serve and protect, the service and the protection come in for our people? I mean, when does it start? So if they're not doing it, then we have to do it. Then we have to do it. You know. So and to Measure's point, you know, you've said a lot, brother, King brother, and you know, we do get discouraged, and we do, you know, and because we see a lot of, you know, things that aren't happening, that's not going in our favor, and so on and so forth. But at the same token, then we see our brother Ozone. We don't see cases like this every day, not every day, you know, and see when we see this and we know about the situation and we see what our brother's been through, you know, he had to defend himself twice during the incident and in court. He was the only one that was on the defense side of making sure he did not seek the death penalty. So now, where do we go from here? Our brother needs help. Are we going to allow monetary issues and we don't care and fear get in the way of helping him? Where does it start? At some point, we have to start somewhere. We know we have the God-abiding right to protect ourselves. We know we have this now, okay? And it's always a legal way of doing it. And it is a legal way, you know. So that's it. Yes.
And for those who are listening to this broadcast and listen to other broadcasts of this type, if you don't have firsthand knowledge of the information that's being shared, I say to you, get you a pad and a pen And when the live is over, or when you finish your own due diligence and do your research and educate those that you commune with each and every day. Talk to even strangers who look just like you about this information and encourage them to do their own research. Because the more we know, the more we grow. One thing that the colonizers have always prided themselves in is hiding information from us. And they believe that if they want to keep something from us, all they have to do is put it in a book. Now they've discovered that we as a people are doing more research. We're growing more. We're learning more. And as we continue to grow and educate ourselves, you'll begin to see more of them begin to talk the way that we talk and even expose those who are blatantly racist. It doesn't mean that they aren't, but it means them getting on their own people is aiding us in what we need to be able to do as a people. It gives us less to concern ourselves about on their front and more to concern ourselves about with us. So educate yourselves. That's like I saw a lot of people say, Brother Ozone should have complied. That means they're not aware of the Fourth Amendment right to be secure and not being approached or harassed by law enforcement for no good reason at all. They don't have a warrant. They don't have any business on private property unless somebody called them. And anytime they approach you, it is their responsibility and their duty to tell you why. If you are detained, they are to tell you that you are being detained and why you are being detained. The first thing they should be doing is introducing themselves and then informing you as to why they're approaching you. And if they cannot give you that information, you are free to leave. And I want you all to please do your research. Read your constitutional rights. They are not that long. Also, read the Willie Lynch letter, because a lot of our people suffer from the Willie Lynch letter syndrome, and they're not even aware that they're suffering from this. All of this is as a result of slavery. It has been embedded into our people, and it's been passed down from generation to generation, because you put fear into the ancestors. They put fear into their children. They passed it down to the next generation until it got to your great grandmother and your grandmother and your mother and your dad, and they passed it down to you. And once we learn that this is what happened, then we can begin to repair ourselves with these issues.
I want to thank everybody.
Unity is what will help us to be able to survive. And I yield my mic.
I want to thank everybody that viewed this live. I want to thank Sister Cody, Miss Watchman, and Miss Dee Taylor for coming in. And anybody who's welcome to come in, but we close to 3 hours now. And we was covering the Rasheem Carter lynching, Raleigh protests in Taylorsville, Mississippi, where this young man had an issue at the job with the employer. Later, white men in trucks followed him. He went to the police station. We contacted his mom. Mom told him to go to the police station, reported the situation, asked the police for a ride. The police didn't want to give him a ride because it was 30 miles outside his jurisdiction. And then the next day, come again, asked him for the police station to use their charge. He said they happened to go to Family Dollar. He texted, he sent his mom his location. His mom sent somebody to go pick him up at the Family Dollar. He was not there. And 3 months, she filed a missing report and what have you. Got the video footage of him being at the Family Dollar, walking there, what have you. But 30 days later, his man was found 30 miles outside Taylorsville, Mississippi. There's been no arrest. The coroner report or what examiner report was the death was undetermined. And that was the rally was all about. Shout out to the family. May they get justice. Shout out to people that was out there supporting, organized New Black Panther Party, etc. So I just want to let y'all know that this is a real situation, but also don't forget to support Otto Wallace OTA.org. PLAB, People Legal Aid, that's People Legal Aid Project?
People Legal Aid Project, yes.
Right. Yes, definitely go support that brother. That's brother facing up to 30 years. And all these people that's on the platform definitely have supported him. I supported myself, still support him and whatnot. And we definitely need to bring light to the injustices that Ms. Watson was talking about, relative to our Fifth and Fourth Amendment being violated and 14 amendments and whatnot. But I don't want to keep this live going too long. I'm gonna give y'all at least 3 minutes to have a closing, and we're gonna end it right there. We can start with Ms. Washman, Ms. Didi, and then Cody.
I just want to say to our people, keep your head up and keep your eyes open. Stand up and don't give in. Our problem is we have a tendency to drop the ball. It's time out for dropping the ball. It's time out for ignoring what's actually going on with us and saying, oh, it's not me. If you're not in my immediate bloodline, I'm not concerned about it. Understand, the fact that your skin is brown makes it your problem, just like it's mine. And I yield my mic.
Thank you so much, sister. Have a blessed one.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Major, can you please put otho.org up, please, so then that way people can see.
All right, got you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to say in closing that even to the families that have received millions and millions and millions of dollars due to police brutality, you know, even if you guys can help, you know, with our brother, otho.org. You know, a lot of times these families, they end up, you know, billionaire. Well, I don't want to say billionaires, but millionaires behind the atrocity of their family's death due to police brutality. So I'm not going to call no family names or anything like that. But if any one of you can even, you know, donate to our dear brother's cause, he made it out alive. He is not a hashtag. And my condolence goes out to all of our people out there who's lost a family member due to police brutality. And I yield the mic. Thank you again, Sister Cody, for sending me the link, and Major TV for having me up here, okay?
Shalom, and thank you, Cody, for coming on. In closing, I don't want nobody to forget to donate to Seeking Justice for Rasheem on GoFundMe.com. I know we spoke about OTA briefly. Definitely donate Ota.org. That brother definitely need help, but this family do need help as well. Seeking justice for Rasheem. GoFundMe.com. Make sure that we spread this video. We spread the story. I also want to share again a Cody Black media platform, and that's news, facts, and comments. And this platform have a plethora of information on there and what have you, as well as the story right here and whatnot. Please go check it out. She have a lot of interesting stories. She have videos on here and whatnot that covers on her journey and whatnot, from the Tulsa, Oklahoma rally, generational wealth, on major TV and interviews she conducted recently and whatnot. On this platform have just a plethora of information I know that you all can use, and I know that if you was to spray this platform, it will get attention it need, because right now it's a small platform that definitely needs attention. So I definitely want to shout out News, Facts, and Comments as newsfactsnc.net. And I just want to shout everybody else out, definitely spread this video, share, like the video, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I don't do as many videos, but I do things that pique my interest. If somebody gives me a call, if you have a story you want me to cover, just holler at me. But the things I said earlier, I want to let people know I have been frustrated. And Ms. DD called that right. I have been bothered, because there is a lot of conflict in our community. There's a lot of things that I don't like. People I've met and I've seen certain things that I didn't agree with. And I've seen a lot of good people get pushed away behind differences and what have you. But I definitely love you all. I wish you all the best. And with saying that, y'all take care. Y'all stay focused and just be you. Peace.
Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk.
Let's talk. Yeah. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Yeah, strength in numbers, we need more talk among us. We need to show more love and be more supportive. Product of my environment, something wrong with the soil. Soldier with no platoon, cause every day it's a war. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Let's talk. I ain't saying that it gotta happen overnight, but we gotta make a change to preserve life, serve a greater purpose, and start with you and I. Gotta plant seeds of hope deep in your mind, and let it grow to something you never thought it would, and give back all the blessings to the neighborhood, just the way you should, the only way to do it. This is Major TV Music, Black Media. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity. Doing it from the heart, that's the only way of doing it. Giving them food for thought, cause these Jews are real jewelry. Remember, we used to march for peace. The days Dr. King, remember, we would walk the streets showing our unity.
The Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. So we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable